Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sheep Get Sheared podcast. Where here we talk about people, politics, and popular culture. I'm your host, Austin Creed, and my friends, I woke up early this morning. And I woke up at like 3 o'clock this morning and I just couldn't go back to sleep. You ever had those mornings where you just wake up and you just cannot wait to get started on the day? Yeah, that's how I started off the morning. But then as I kind of wanted to go back to sleep, but I couldn't. I kind of just laid there and I thought, and my mind just started going crazy with all the distractions, and I was having a really hard time staying focused this morning. That's why I didn't do the show right away. My mind was just all over the place. So I got out of bed. I went down to, I started walking around campus. I grabbed a coffee. I'm just walking around. I'm watching the sun slowly rise. And I thought to myself, my God, you know how hard it is to stay focused out here? This is why I preach discipline on the show all the time. It's so hard. Look, I'll be the first to admit, it's tough out here, man. Yeah. Anybody who wants to achieve anything, it is tough. It is tough out here, man. Most people are oxygen thieves and they don't do jack. Most people are a little more than robots, like skin robots. They're literally nothing more than just factory issued robots, man. And that's not to diminish their humanity in any way. I'm just telling you, man, most people are out here fueling someone else's dream. They got next to no ambition. They're just completely programmed in the system. They might as well have like a charging port on the back of their head because they ain't doing jack besides fueling a billionaire's dream out here. And as a future billionaire, I'm telling you right now, and hey, look, you could sniggle at that if you want. Go ahead, laugh it up, because I'll be laughing when I make my first billion by 40, as I've been telling myself every day for the last couple months, almost a year. And look at how far I've come, man. And I'm not out here bragging, brothers. I'm not out here bragging. I just want y'all to know that you just staying focused out here, it's not always easy, okay? It's really not. Frankly, if you can just stay focused every second of every day on what you're doing, please share your secret with me, because I want to know. But, it's just like you're not strong. People have this misnotion that to be strong, you need to have no weakness. No, it's because of your weakness and fighting it every day that makes you strong. Strong people have weaknesses. In fact, arguably, they have more weaknesses than you. The difference is they fight it every day, and it's more of a callus than it is an open cut or a wound. And so they are able to project this strength because they've mastered at least a part of themselves, if not their entire self. And that's the signal of strength, brothers. It's not out here pretending like you don't have weaknesses. I don't understand people who do that. It's goofy. It's stupid. We all know you're lying. So that's why I'm not out here pretending like I don't have weaknesses. I'm full of weaknesses, man. I'll tell you that right now. I am. Oh yeah, I have tons of weaknesses. But I'll tell you something else. It's all about conquering, and sometimes you'll lose the battle. Frankly, you will. I almost lost it on the battle last night, but I stayed focused, I pushed through it, and I won. I will win the war. I just want to win more battles than lose. Because that's what it comes down to, brothers. If you're out here, if you have a goal in your life, you're already ahead of like 90% of people. Most people don't know what they want to do, but they'll tell you what they're not going to do, but they have no idea what the hell they actually want to do with their lives. Nothing. Zero. They look to other people to tell them what the hell to do or what they should care about or what they should do. Meanwhile, they're asking themselves why they're not like Andrew Tate or Guy Bilzerian or Dan Bilzerian, whatever his name is. They want to pretend like they're him. Oh, why don't I get all the girls and have all the cars and have the yacht and all the six-pack abs and all this stuff. It takes time, discipline, and dedication to get those things. And good genetics too sometimes as well. Well, let's not leave that one out of the pot. But the morning show on the Sheep Get Sheared podcast is all about motivation, and in my opinion, also about accountability. I mean, motivation's great, don't get me wrong. You need your daily dose of it every day. I need to give it to myself, and I hopefully give it to y'all every day as well. But it's also about accountability. Because sometimes we fall off the wagon, brothers. Let's be honest, okay? Let's be honest, sometimes we fall off the wagon. Sometimes we made a mistake. And it's not about saying, well, I wouldn't have made that mistake if someone hadn't done this. Or if someone else hadn't asked me blank. No, no, no. It's all about your taking accountability for the mistakes that you make. That'll help you stay focused, by the way. When you make a mistake, instead of blaming somebody else, because let me tell you something. When you blame someone else for your problems, you rob yourself of the opportunity to grow. For example, let's say that I hit up one of the girls on my roster, right? I tell her to come through, I clap the cheeks, whatever, and then I forget to, in my throbs of passion, so to speak, I forget to do the evening show, or I write the whole thing, but then I don't do it. It's really easy for me to wake up the next day and be like, oh, dang, I didn't do it last night. What happened? Oh, it's all her fault if she hadn't distracted me. No, I can't do that. I say, hey, you know what? This is all me. I should have handled business first. Instead, I let my hormones get the best of me. I made a mistake. So you know what? I'm just going to move forward, and I'll do it tonight. I'll do the show tonight, and I'll do that topic another time. Yeah, it doesn't feel good to blame myself for stuff, but it's liberating to an extent as well, because then you accept accountability. You give yourself power over your own life. And in doing so, you don't become a victim of your own problems. You become the person who's going to vindicate and avenge the problem. You give yourself the ability to say, hey, this was a learning experience. Let me learn from it. Instead of saying, oh, that bitch, she distracted me, it's her fault. No. Again, that's one example. But I'm telling you, look, I'm not a perfect man. In fact, I'm the farthest thing from it. If you know me in real life, or if you listen to this show long enough, you know I'm not a perfect guy. No one's perfect. But it's about accepting your mistakes that make you more likely to learn and not make those mistakes again. A little bit of a side note. I talk about on this show how I'm not perfect, right? I talk about how difficult it is to stay focused, how I want to stay motivated. And it all comes down to developing your own personal philosophy. I discuss this on this show multiple times, and I write about it in my book, Biblical Bachelor, which is going to be released on the 31st, so only in a couple of days. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? I've been talking about this for like the last month, if not longer, and it's coming out on the 31st. Honestly, I'm excited about it. It's going to be fantastic. But I'm telling you this for a reason. I'm not the same guy I was last year, or even last month. You're always changing. And sometimes you have to have your philosophy change with you, and other times you got to plant yourself in the ground and say, hey, I can't allow myself to go there. I can't allow myself to make that mistake or make that adjustment because it's just not what's right for me. And there is no shame in that. Zero shame in that. But people want to make you feel bad about that kind of stuff. Don't let people have the power over you. And you give them that power, by the way. It is impossible for someone to make you feel a certain way without your permission. I know it doesn't always feel that way. But when you look at it from a logical point of view, when you feel insulted, let me put a little perspective on this real fast. If I call you stupid, you're probably going to feel offended, right? You're going to be like, Austin, I'm not stupid. What the hell is your problem? I get it. However, when you respond to that, you are accepting that label on yourself. And in that regard, I got to give the ladies credit, because women tend to be better at this than we are, by the way. As dudes, we tend to retaliate when a dude calls us something. Versus the ladies do it too, don't get me wrong. However, they're better at saying, hey, I'm not going to accept that behavior from you. Hey, I'm not going to accept that disrespect. Or they're going to say, hey, I'm not going to let you make me feel that way. and that's obviously not all women, but they tend to do a better job of standing up for themselves on an emotional level and not accepting the brands that people give them. And in men, we need to learn from that. For example, if someone calls you a simp, right? That's not an insult. It is a check on you. It's not meant to be an insult. It is meant to be a, hey, check your behavior because you're doing something wrong. We want to bring this to your attention because you're making a mistake. At least that's how I see it. Maybe I assume the best in people, but it really doesn't have anything to do with what I think about them, and it has more to do with the fact that I don't care what people say. There's always it could be a lot or next to no truth in what someone says. It could be a nugget or it could be an entire ingot. It doesn't matter. There's always a little bit of truth and wisdom in what someone says to you. Something you could take away from that will help you stay focused and will help you learn. Because, yesterday, someone said something to me that, it normally might have not been that impactful. Maybe it was just the fact that I needed to hear it, and it was extremely profound. And it was this. Do you realize that your vision of yourself, when you look in the mirror and you see yourself in the mirror, you have a certain perception of yourself, right? Everybody has that. But when you realize that everybody around you who knows you, whether they're close to you, whether they're just an acquaintance, it makes no difference. They have a different version of you in their head that could be completely accurate or completely inaccurate, and I guarantee you it's different than how you see yourself. When you realize that, you're going to likely overlook a lot of things that you get down on yourself every single day for that might cause you to lose focus, might cause you to really beat down on yourself more than you need to do. I just thought that was incredibly profound, and I'm sure that many people know that that's the case, and it wasn't something I didn't know, but it was the way that it was explained to me that I just found it so profound. Because it made me realize that we work so dang hard on our reputation. We work so hard on keeping our image a certain way if we're smart. But when you realize that people have a different version of you, when someone, say, for example, someone compliments you, and you sit back and you're like, what? I don't think that I'm good looking. I don't think I'm not, funny or talented or whatever it is that they compliment you on. Most dudes don't get compliments, by the way. So when we do, we're a little taken aback by it. That's more of a, girls get compliments all the time to the point where they complain about getting compliments, if you can believe it. But brothers, we don't get a lot of compliments, even from other dudes. We don't get compliments. And if we do, we're kind of taken aback by it. But we might not even accept the compliment sometimes. I'm really bad at this too, by the way. I am really bad at saying, wow, thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm usually like, yeah, thanks, whatever, he had to say that or she had to say that, whatever. I dismiss it because sometimes I just don't think it's true. So I dismiss it. But we need to accept these things, brothers. Stay focused out here. It is a marathon, not a sprint, especially if you're a young guy. This is a marathon. I used to get really down on myself, and that's something that's really helped me maintain my focus, is realizing that, of course, you want to win the battle every day, but you need to be focused on the war, the long term. Sure, the short term is important at times, but the long term, the fulfillment is what you should be chasing. People were asking me earlier yesterday, oh, hey, Austin, what are you doing for Halloween, dude? You going to some raging party? You gonna go live it up? You gonna go have fun, whatever? I thought to myself, that never crossed my mind. Because my book is coming out. Biblical Bachelor is coming out on the 31st. I've been focused on doing that. I've been focused on doing the show. I've been focused on doing my homework. I haven't thought about going to a party and getting wasted, trying to pick up chicks. I haven't thought about doing any of that goofy garbage. But it was just weird because I thought about it. I was like, people don't see the version of me that I see. Going back to what I just said, people don't see the fact that I grind my heart out every single day because I don't advertise it. I don't go around bragging about the fact that I'm going to be a published author in like 3 or 4 days. I don't go around bragging about the fact that in 4 days I'm going to be a published author. I've done over 200 podcast episodes. I don't go around bragging about the stuff that I do. I walk in silence. And so when people see me, they see me as just the everyday average dude, which is fine. I don't need people to see me in this, spend, this oracle of wisdom and grandeur. I don't need people to see that. But it was a very interesting moment when I realized that people just kind of saw me as like a good time Charlie kind of dude. And I thought to myself, it was profound because I don't know. I sometimes forget that I'm human, as weird as that sounds. I sometimes forget that I'm a 23-year-old dude who most people my age are getting drunk, getting high, trying to fornicate with every person that they find attractive walking by. They're not focused on the long-term goals. Most people, if they even ever see it, they see it like when they're 40 or in their 30s. They don't focus on the long term when they're young. I mean, who wants to deal with that most of the time? Most of the time, people don't think about the future that much. But that's why it's important to stay focused. To not worry about how other people see you. Of course you want them to see you in a positive light. But don't get too consumed with the fact that people are going to view you in a certain way. I don't know. I drank some milk earlier. I'm getting a little congested. I don't know. I think that's kind of... Does that happen to anybody else? Sometimes I get really congested after I drink milk. I know it's nutrition. I get it. But my friends, my voice is starting to kind of go, so I'm going to end the show here. But moral of the story is, if you're struggling out here with whatever you're struggling with, maybe it's something I talked about, maybe it's something I didn't, you're not alone. You're not alone out here. We're all gonna make it. This is a battle. And whether you win or lose the battle, we will win the war. Because we've come too far, we've invested too much to lose. My friends, God bless you. God bless your families. God bless America. We're gonna win out here. Peace.